Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mimi Orsha, and I will be discussing the Manonggol jar. Manonggol jar is one of the Philippine cultural treasures and early pre-colonial artwork. Manonggol jar is a secondary burial jar that believes to be a cultural treasure. It is because of the top part of the jar, which is the cover. So this one, it shows the beliefs of our ancestor who happened to believe that the two human figures who was seated on the boat is representing two souls. So these two human represents souls going to the afterlife, meaning the souls of the people who died will ride on that boat, as this will be their way to pass through rivers and seas in order to go to the afterlife. The Manonggol jar was acknowledged to be the finest masterpiece and was marked as a national treasure with a designated number of 64/MO-74 by the National Museum of the Philippines, and it is also considered as one of the most popular exhibits inside the museum. So the Manonggol jar is made up of clay and sand soil. The upper portion of the jar and its cover, so this one, is decorated using a curved design. So, mao ni siya design na pina-curve and painted with the use of iron or hematite. So, who discovered the Manonggol jar? It was discovered by Dr. Robert B. Fox and Antonia in 1964. So, the person in this picture, this is Dr. Robert B. Fox. He was an anthropologist of the National Museum. Along with his team, they were excavating the Tabon Cave. It was the first excavation that gives way to the discovery of this burial jar, or also known as the Manonggol jar. They also discovered a remain of a Tabun man inside the jar, and his bone was painted with red paint. It was found from a Neolithic burial site in Manonggol Cave of Tabon Caves. So, question, where does Tabon Caves located? The Tabon Cave located is at Lipon Point in the Palawan. So, Neolithic burial. In simple word, it is a cemetery of a new Stone Age people. It is where their burial practices takes place. It is where the body of their loved ones buried. So, the Tabon Cave, as I mentioned to you a while ago, is known to be a place of many jars, ranging from 4,250 to 2,000 BP. There were believed to be 78 jars and earthenwares, including the said Manonggol jar, were found inside the cave. The artifact found inside the chamber was made for funerary pottery. That's why the designs of the jar can be found at traces of beliefs where human figure that can be seen on the cover of the Manonggol jar. This one, the human figure, where its hand were put across his chest, like this one. This is how we arrange corpse from burials. Next is the fine lines and intricate designs of the Manonggol jar. As we examine the Manonggol jar, we can see the culture of the Filipino beliefs, as well as Austronesian beliefs to the Anito. The Austronesian beliefs, they believe that everything has a spirit. from rocks, trees to animals, even humans to natural phenomena. This spirit they believed is known as Anito. So next, the faces of the Manunggul jar. There were three features of the Manunggul jar. First is the soul. The soul represents the two-figure man who was taking its journey to the afterlife. So this is the soul. The boatman is one. Next is the boatman. The boatman is your way. He is the one that will bring you to the afterlife. Next is the boat. The boat itself, this one. The boat is the one you will use in order for you to cross rivers and waters to reach the afterlife. So, in summarization about this topic, this Manunggul jar let us see the connection between our Southeast Asian neighbors that up until now we still share common culture and beliefs. This also show to us how waters and boats were important to our ancestors. Way back before, this is their way to do trading to other countries. Before, during their time, there is no internet, telephone, or telegram to communicate with others easily. Their only way of communication and giving information is through ships called the Balanghay, the Parao, and the Karakoa, which is considered as marvelous technological advances that gain respect to us by our country neighbors, and by this they made us partners in tradings, including the Imperial Chinese. So this would be all. Thank you for listening.